Welcome everybody, this is the TalkCondo Release Radar Roundtable, where every week we sit down and discuss the best new condo launches that you can buy today and the best ones that are coming soon. My name is Bhandari, I am the co-founder of TalkCondo, and we've got Amit Bhandari and Mike Santos joining us today. So first of all, we're going to talk about the latest new condo launches. These are condo launches that buyers can buy today. In the email that's gone out, they've got options where they can download the floor plans and submit a reservation suite right away. So the first one is Era 2. Era 2 is up in Richmond Hill. It's by Pemberton Group. And this is one that is really interesting. So Mike, give us a quick rundown on Era 2.
Sure. So as Royce said, it's Highway 7 and Yonge, master plan community by Pemberton, one of the largest builders in the GTA. Massive footprint all over the GTA, Toronto, Mississauga, Maple, all over York region. Again, master plan community. There's 4 towers. This is the last tower. So this is the last chance to get into this community. Pricing is really good. There is a GO station nearby, so it makes it perfect for commuters or investors. So end users or investors have potential here. And that's what Pemberton do. And this is the big thing about them. They create master plan communities. And they do a really great job of it, brings the whole community together. It's 30 stories, 312 units in total. And again, there's limited inventory now, but there's still good options available. So this is one of the projects that is a buy today option. And this is the last one that Pemberton is going to be doing in this community. So
there's a couple of things there. Now, Pemberton, last year, 2017, were the #1 builder in terms of new condo launches and new condo sales. Mm-hmm. They had condo projects in downtown Toronto. They did everywhere. So they did Time and Space 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 towers down at front in Sherbourne. Downtown, they also did social condos at the back end of the year. They had Indigo Phase 1 and 2 in Maple. You mentioned they were in Maple.
Yep.
They did 2 in Mississauga. So they're really all over the place.
All over, yeah.
They've been in business 50 years. So when you're buying Pemberton, you're really buying that quality and
for sure. That's definitely, when people talk about new projects, I mean, a great builder is obviously a huge component of that.
Really
so as soon as you see the Pemberton name, and I know as soon as we see a Pemberton name coming in the pipeline as well, we know it's going to be a really good project, and we're ready to ramp up for those projects in the future. So this is definitely one of the best buy now projects today, and the demand for it's been insane so far. I know it's been out for a little bit now, but there is still product available for it.
You mentioned that because, like you said, this is the 4th project up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yonge Park 1, Yonge Park 2 both sold out in the first weekend. Era Phase 1 launched in January, and it was...
And that's how people might know the name better, is by Yonge Park.
Right.
Because they kind of changed what was Yonge Park 1 and then Yonge Park 2 when we came to know that name, and then when Era came out. So if people are kind of wondering where it is, it's part of that Yonge Park community.
Master plan. Awesome. So the next project is 1181 Queen. 1181 Queen is in the Queen West neighborhood. Mm-hmm. It's very different from the other kind of condominium projects where it's investor focused. Talk to us a little bit about 1181 Queen.
Sure. Yeah. I would consider it more of an end user, super boutique. It's 15 stories, 112 units, really large units, really large terraces. Right at Queen and Gladstone, so you're just minutes from Trinity Bellwoods Park, Drake Hotel, and then with the King Street pilot coming in, it's opened up all of Liberty Village, King West, so it's really an area that people are wanting to go into. But again, it's a super boutique building, only 112 units, so it's one that you definitely have to move on. It'll be one where inventory moves very quickly. And if you're looking for that project that has those very luxury finishes, I know that right now we have standard finishes that are great, but if you're looking for that little extra bump up in quality where you get normally like a Yorkville or one of those really high end, you're getting that at a Queen West sort of hipster cool area at a price range that isn't quite Yorkville above. So it's a really, really cool, unique project.
Yeah, I like it because, again, the 1-bedrooms where typically they're in the 400 square foot range. Here you're getting 1-bedrooms that are a little bit larger.
The smallest is 546, which you don't see all that often nowadays. So if an end user is looking for a project with space, because everybody's worried about that, this is definitely one to look at for
Another one I just want to touch on very quickly on 1181 before we move on is the developer. So the developer here is Scale Developments. A year ago, they launched the Bluffs condos in Scarborough, which I know you were really close to. Again, it was end user product that was more
very similar. That
Yeah.
was a boutique building as well, with fantastic south views.
Well, the south views overlook the Bluffs, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, very, very similar concept as well there too.
And that one sold out pretty quickly too.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so let's move on to 859 West, which is along the Queensway. Again, comparatively speaking, it's a small building, only a couple hundred odd units.
Yeah, it's 14 stories, and it's sort of, if we have a scale model of it that we can show right here.
Yeah.
Along the Queensway, it's only about, I think it's 6 stories.
Yeah.
And then on the back end, it goes up to 14 stories, and starting at the 9th story, you have larger corner units. You have some terraces as well on the back end. Again, this one's a little bit different. It's not quite, I wouldn't consider it 100% investor, 100% end user. Because it's pretty convertible, the floor plans. They have a lot of 1+ flex, they're calling it now.
Yeah.
And for people that don't know flex, it can be a den, but it can also be converted into...
It's big enough for a second bedroom.
Yeah,
Right?
it is.
Yeah.
And so they have a ton of these units. So the floor plans are really good here.
Yeah.
And they're really large unit sizes as well. You're looking in the 1+ flex somewhere close to, some of them were up to 771 and then as low as 615 square feet. So you can get a true 1+ den or a 2-bedroom. So a lot of people...
2-bedroom.
Yeah. Well, we're seeing a lot of people in the community say, I live here, I want to invest in the area because I believe in Queensway, which is definitely, an up-and-coming neighborhood with all the revitalization happening between Mississauga and Toronto. More connected to Toronto, of course, but the units are large enough where people can say, I can rent it out for a few years, and then when I retire or when I want to downsize, it's something I can move into later. And we went to the sales event.
Well, I was going to mention that.
Yeah.
This weekend we were at the sales event. It was the first day of sales on Saturday.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was.
We had
The second we walked in, it was...
Yeah, like 5 minutes in, wasn't...
Yeah, well, this is the interesting part. Yeah, so we came in. We had a client who was very, very interested in one specific unit, and it was a really great floor plan. And we submitted a worksheet. We asked for the unit, and it was all sold out.
That was 5 minutes after the doors opened.
It's not just that though. But it was crazy. Obviously, the first 5 minutes, we had a rush of people go in, and there was a ton of people submitting information. But we had sent out information on that project actually on the Thursday.
Yeah.
The launch was on the Saturday. We did a launch on the Thursday. And we had told people, if you know the unit that you want, submit a worksheet now because they're accepting them.
Because we could have reserved the unit ahead of time.
We could have reserved the unit ahead of time. So those 2 days, if you know exactly what kind of unit you want, you've run your numbers, you're an investor, you know exactly what you want, submit it during that time because it's better to get the unit now than
chasing after
it later because those types of floor plans are not coming back, right? They're not going to rescind on those type of units. So that's what I would try to encourage people is if you know exactly what you want, get it in early and then come to the sales event. You can familiarize yourself with all the rest of the stuff afterwards. But I mean, that's okay. It's a lesson learned and for next time.
Great. So we're going to talk next about Lumina condominiums. Now, Lumina is part of the Emerald City redevelopment up at Fairview Mall. This is the last opportunity to buy.
Ninth tower,
yeah.
So, to speak about Lumina, well, let's get the specifics out of the way. It's 15 stories, 250 odd units. Occupancy is tentatively given for 2021.
Yeah.
But to speak about this development, you really have to speak about, and it's something you touched on, master plan. It's going to be a running theme throughout this conversation. ELAD, what they have done is they've essentially converted this corner of Shepherd and Don Mills into this vibrant community. Lumina is the 9th tower. It's the southernmost tower. The killer piece of the puzzle for this community for me is the transit.
Yeah.
You're walking distance to Don Mills subway station. You take 4 stops west, you're on the Yonge subway line. I mean, that opens up an entire new world, really. You're walking distance to subway. You're 5 minutes drive from the highways, 404. You're also you're on the TTC line. You're also walking distance to Fairview Mall.
Yeah.
So it has a lot going for it, and it's very very obvious to see why the demand has been so strong here.
Well, they've sold out 8 towers before.
Yeah, they've sold out 8 towers. So fantastic neighborhood, a great vibrant community, master plan community, of course. Last tower, last chance really to get a pre-construction pricing here.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're going to shift gears a little bit now and come downtown. Like in the heart of downtown. The first one is it's a project that we've been talking about for 2 or 3 years now. It's One Yonge. It's the first tower at One Yonge, the Prestige. Talk us a little bit about Prestige. I know you had a chance to talk to Anson Kwok, which is a video interview we did with the VP of Sales and Marketing.
Yeah.
So give us a quick rundown of One
Quick
Yonge.
rundown, I'll try, because we could probably spend an entire afternoon talking about One Yonge. So One Yonge is one of those developments that I think the best way to put it is that it's going to change the skyline of Toronto.
It's going to change the postcard, right?
Is absolutely, because you know we talked about this in the interview. Like now the peak is the CN Tower, but now there's a lot of developers now trying to push the envelope. So you're gonna height, and we're going to talk more about that as well afterwards. But you're not going to see this anyway. You're going to see a lot of peaks. The Prestige, the first tower, is and the entire community as well. It's not just residential. There's a lot of things going for it. It's well and truly multifaceted. There's a big, obviously, residential component, but there's also an office component. There's a 50,000 square foot city-run community centre, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It's not going to affect any individual's maintenance fees. It's city-run, and the public is free to use it. The other killer feature here is a direct path connection. Which is enormous, because the city has spoken about this for a long time, about expanding the path connection and whatnot, but to have it directly connected to where you live,
it's a game.
The financial district,
yeah, absolutely. The financial district, the South Financial Core, to have that connection direct to Union Station is absolutely it's incredible.
It's going to connect neighborhoods essentially too.
Absolutely, it's going to open up East Bayfront to the South Financial Core even more, where Pinnacle One Yonge is. The other incredible feature here is the heights. I touched on this before. These, I think, were the first ones to sort of break that, and then others follow suit.
So just to back that out a bit, so One Yonge is going to be 3 towers. The first one that is on sale right now is 65 stories.
65.
And the other 2 are 85
95.
and 95 stories.
Yeah.
95 stories. So
Incredible.
Going back before this, the tallest residential that has been built right now is Aura, which is 75. So we're 25 stories taller than Aura condominiums, which is again, it's broken this barrier, and because of this one, there's going to be more super talls. But this is the first one that's really gone to market.
No, it's incredibly exciting. I think it's one of the ones that everybody were waiting for to launch. The other thing that we haven't touched on is the address itself.
Yeah.
Depending on where you live, it's either the beginning of Yonge or the end of Yonge. But we're Torontonians, so we're going to say it's at the beginning of Yonge. One Yonge, right? It's very prestigious. So
it'll be an iconic project.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
I do want to touch on one more thing at One Yonge, and like you said, we could talk about this one all day. But the other one is sort of the decisions on suite sizes and suite mix. Because again, it's not quite all the way on the investor size. But they have really nice 1-bedrooms in a 500 square foot range. But they also have these amazing large units on the corners. That are
fantastic, phenomenal views.
Potential views. Because this is the southern building, right? So the views over the Toronto Star building are going to be overlooking the Lake Ontario all the way. Yeah. So the next one is we're going to go a little bit east of Prestige, and this one is one of our favorite condominium projects and neighborhoods. So the project is Lakeside Residences. The neighborhood is the East Bayfront, and we've talked.
We can spend the entire another session on the neighborhood. Yeah. The neighborhood is 3 levels. So backing up a little bit. So East Bayfront was dubbed the crown jewel of the whole waterfront Toronto initiative.
Just before you go ahead, Tell them where exactly
give an idea.
where is the East Bayfront?
Okay, so it's at Queen's Quay. It's Lower Jarvis.
Yeah.
East to
Parliament.
Parliament, yes. So it's east of Parliament.
And it's a true waterfront community.
Yeah, it's true waterfront. They built out the promenade and everything. But East Bayfront, like I was mentioning, was dubbed the crown jewel of the whole Waterfront Toronto initiative way back when they sort of decided that these neighborhoods we need to
mid-2000s.
Yeah, mid-2000s, where they said that, look, we have this prime land, we need to make them into something. And incredible vision. Long story short, they pitched to various developers to sort of come up with a community. The entire development of the East Bayfront has backing from 3 levels of government, municipal, federal, provincial, as well as the private sector as well. They're obviously involved in all this. And what the intent was here was to create a master plan community, but a community that, because it's the crown jewel, something very special.
Yeah.
Because it's so close to the financial district, obviously there are things that they needed to have in place.
Mm.
And the things that I think would make any neighborhood incredible, or key ingredients, would be jobs, retail, residential, obviously, education, and public space. Right. And this neighborhood, I think, checks all those boxes.
Mm-hmm.
Education, George Brown campus is already there. It's been open for a few years now. Chorus Entertainment, they moved their headquarters to that neighborhood as well. Google, which was a massive announcement. Even without that announcement, this neighborhood was going to be spectacular, in my opinion.
They have the Innovation Center there as well.
By Menkeys, they have that. Sidewalk Labs, the whole smart city thing, that, again, that's something else that we could talk about, spend hours and hours talking about. Residential, obvious, you've got a number of developers that killer developers as well.
And that was the other thing, actually. The developers in this neighborhood, they're tried out.
Top tier.
They are Menkes, they are Daniels, they are Greenland.
Yeah.
These are the best builders that we have, and they're coming together to develop this neighborhood. And you mentioned a couple of things, and I really want to hit on this. And what I want to emphasize here is, if you've not checked out the East Bayfront neighborhood, please call one of us, and we will love to show you around, because
we're for a tour.
We're
it's incredible.
Yeah.
We're pretty far along at this point where you can actually see this vision come to reality. The parks are open. The Sherborne Commons, the Sherborne Commons that runs all the way to the lake.
Yeah.
In the wintertime, it turns into a skating rink.
Mm-hmm.
The promenade that runs along the waterfront,
public space.
It's all public space.
It's well thought out public space.
And I think the other one public space is amazing, and the attention to detail here is really, really important. The benches they put in are high quality benches that you would find in Yorkville. The paving
the maple leaf,
they've not spared any expense to make this one of the best neighborhoods. One of the other really, really important things here is retail.
Yeah.
So one of the they've learned from other missteps. Neighborhoods.
They were missteps.
Where this is what makes it special, like you were talking about.
Pre-planned. It's all pre-planned.
Yeah, it's pre-planned versus not pre-planned. Just developers kind of just
going
land, whereas you
doing
have
their own thing.
You have a body that's overlooking everything and creating it beyond a master plan community, not just of towers, but a master plan neighborhood.
Well, one of the most important things here was that one of the requirements from Waterfront Toronto was that every building needs to have double height retail
on the ground
space
level.
on the ground level.
That's
so every single building there is going to have coffee shops and restaurants and all this stuff that's going to line the park.
And higher end stuff too. We're thinking it's going to be higher end stuff as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is going to
It's
more of a
There's a big difference.
feel.
There's a big difference in a neighborhood with dry cleaners and dentists as opposed to coffee shops and
it's true. It's
No,
true.
absolutely. Well, it's just an extension. The retail scape is just an extension of the public space, in my opinion. It's what will draw people from other neighborhoods or even cities, outside, within the GTA to come to this new public space. Another one that we haven't mentioned is Sugar Beach.
Sugar Beach, absolutely.
Right.
Well, look at Distillery District. That's become a huge, huge touristy area, and the values in those areas have gone way up.
Yep.
We did Canary Commons in the fall. That was another huge project. So there's no reason why East Bayfront couldn't
absolutely
surpass it as well.
100%.
Yeah, so if anybody's interested in taking a look at this neighborhood, we really recommend. If you've not seen this neighborhood, you don't know what's going on in this neighborhood, it's one that we think has a huge amount of upside. It's one that we've really believed in since the first project, which was Mond, which was
great goal,
5-6 years ago at this point.
Yeah.
So we really recommend this area, and we can't recommend it enough. So
we need to talk about the building.
Oh, we've spent so much.
So no, of course, because the thing is, when it comes to this neighborhood, and we said it from the get go, like this neighborhood has got so much going for it. I think when you touched on Mond, when we worked on Mond, and when we sort of dug deep on the kind of vision and.
Just pause for a second and give us an idea of time frame. When was Mond? When it first launched back in
2012?
I think it actually was 2011.
Was it earlier? It could have been earlier. It was basically a time when it was very hard to imagine what East Bay.
You were selling a pile of dirt.
Yeah, it was, and you know, for a lot of people it's very tough to imagine. But now, because there's been so much change in this neighborhood already. I mean, and remember, what they're building is like a city within a city. Mm-hmm. This is what it is, and so it takes time. Real estate development takes time, especially when it's so multifaceted. You know, public space, jobs, the Menke's Innovation Center, and everything else that's being built out. But the building, actually, I want to talk about the builder, because the builder of Lakeside Residences is, I think, it's probably one of the biggest on the planet. Perhaps.
Yeah, they're definitely up there.
I think they're a Fortune 500 company.
Greenland Developments.
Greenland Developments. And actually, the Greenland Group. I'm going to take this directly from the website. So this company has developed across 4 continents, 9 countries, including the US, Canada, UK, Australia, and 13 cities. So they're well and truly a global operation. And I remember when the announcement came, when they were coming into the Toronto, I was really excited. I thought, this is a huge deal for the city. The fact that a company like that wants to enter the Toronto market it says a lot about Toronto.
Yeah, and so in New York, they're building one of the largest developments at the Barclays Center. They're in LA, so they're in major markets. Yeah. They're in major markets, and now they're moving to Toronto. So they built some of the tallest skyscrapers in China. So they are a huge developer. So
they mean business. They mean serious business, and the fact that they want to stay and build.
Yeah.
Right.
And this one sold really well. Again, another project that sold really well. There's still some inventory, but
there is still some
getting limited.
It is getting limited, and there's a lot of, like what I touched on before, that there's a lot happening in this neighborhood from all aspects. There's still a lot more residential units still to come. I mean, we're going to talk about it later, but Menke's Sugar Wharf is 2,000 units.
Mm-hmm.
That's 2,000. That's a huge amount. So the fact that you can still buy in this project is it's a very good opportunity to buy. Sure. The building itself, it's an interesting design what they've done. Because I guess it's like 2 sides of a podium. It's like an L-shaped podium with a tower on top. The tower itself is actually going to be the tallest piece of the Greenland development site.
49.
It's 49 stories. The occupancy is slated for 2022.
Yes.
But it's a very good opportunity, and I really do feel that people need to take another look at this site again, just because everything that's going on, and the fact that you're buying with a developer that has built not just in Canada or Toronto, but everywhere. Like they're everywhere.
Yep, I agree. I couldn't agree more. So next we're going to talk about the projects that are in the pipeline. Probably the questions that we get asked the most as Platinum agents is, what is coming up? Mm-hmm. So we're going to do a quick rundown of what's in the pipeline. So the first project is Garden District Condos, which I know you've been looking at a lot, Mike. So
yes, so AAA location.
Yeah.
Mutual and Shooter. So you're 5 minutes from TTC, Queen Station, 5 minutes from Eden Center, Yonge and Dundas, Ryerson University, hospitals. So AAA location if you're looking for a core project. This is going to be a really big one. 35 stories, only 234 units in the 35 stories. So that means that, average of 6 stories per unit. I mean, it might differ here and there, but you're potentially looking at some really great suites. We were talking about the types of floor plans, so those would be really good. It's by the Sure Group. It's their second building in the area. They sold Ivy out completely in the spring, last spring, 2017. So yeah, super excited about this one.
And this one's only 200 units, so for a downtown project.
Yeah.
Get in early, get your worksheets in
for sure.
The next one is another one that we're really interested in is Empire Maverick, which is in the entertainment district. Amit?
So entertainment district, awesome neighborhood. We've worked there extensively. It's an area of rapid growth. There's going to be a lot of new stuff, new cool stuff. Empire Maverick is one of those ones that we were very surprised and very excited to see. So for the individuals that are familiar, Restaurant Row, if you've ever been to the TIFF, it's the Toronto International Film Festival. It's the stuff literally across the street from there. So fantastic location, right in the heart of the entertainment district. The building itself, roughly 300 suites, 47 stories, and we're expecting completion in 2022.
2022.
Yeah.
So I'm going to group the next two together because they're by the same developer. One of our favorite developers is Menkes. We've got the Harbour Plaza. We display that very proudly. So the first one is Indy.
Yeah. So Indy is kind of in the area that you just spoke about. It's literally just east of Dundas and Jarvis. So it's right in that pocket where the Ryerson University campus is. Yeah. It's an area that has seen tremendous growth. We worked initially in this neighborhood way back when with Greek Golf's project called PACE. I think it was in 2011. 2011, yeah. Very, very long time ago. An area that's rapidly changing. A lot of revitalization has already happened, and I think it will continue. The building itself is going to be 204 suites, 21 stories. So another baby, basically. Especially with regards to the stuff that's coming out. So get your worksheets in early. I can see this one also occupying in 2022 as well.
Yeah. You mentioned that one was a baby, but the next one is definitely not a baby.
Oh, Sugar Wharf, Menkes. In case you've driven on the Garden, you cannot miss this. Sugar Wharf itself is going to take that and just, I think, make it much grander. Much bigger. Almost 2,000 new residential suites. The killer thing here, other than it being by Menkes, one of the top developers, is that it's also apparently going to have the path connection, which, just like the Prestige, it's an absolutely killer thing to have. It connects you to essentially the entire city. It's in the South Financial Core. The financial district obviously is growing. It's growing rapidly. We spoke about the entertainment district. It's going to be very hard to distinguish where one ends and where one begins. South Financial Core is just an extension of the financial district. And this is exactly where it sits. It's one that we're very, very excited to.
This one's also going to have the commercial tower, the LCBO tower is going to
be at the base.
Yeah. They had the big press conference a few weeks ago, and so this one's going to be really exciting.
Very exciting, and it's also right beside, to get your bearings. It's the area is literally beside East Bayfront as well. Yeah. So the area that we spoke about earlier. So
Central Waterfront,
Central Waterfront, East Bayfront, South Financial Core.
The next one is up in Regent Park. This is the newest Regent Park building by Daniels. It is the second phase of DuEast.
Yes.
So talk to us a little bit about DuEast Boutique Residences.
I was going to say super boutique. Yeah. 112 units only. I think the last
You're seeing a theme here, yeah.
Sold out in like a day.
It
was completely ridiculous. So again, another builder we talked about. Builders are obviously a huge component of this. Daniels is another one where as soon as you hear the name, you know it's going to be quality.
Absolutely.
And this is all part of the next building in the whole Regent Park revitalization. Again, something we could have another whole afternoon talk about. But this will be another quick one to go. 112 units only. So that's another project you're going to really want to be on top of, and we will make sure when it comes that you guys will be on top of it all.
So while we're on DuEast, there's a couple of things I wanted to mention. Number one is that we do already have some draft floor plans which you can download in the email. There's a handful of floor plans that we've already seen. It's a small building. Number two is that Daniels are going to have a full tower launching in the fall as well. So just be aware of that. So the next one we're going to talk about again is part of a multi-master plan community. This time it's Garrison Point. Garrison Point Phase 1 launched a few years ago, so there's been a bit of a gap between Garrison Phase 1 and Phase 2, which is called Playground Condominiums. So talk to me a little bit about Playground.
Sure. So major intersection King and Strawn, so looking at that King West area, which has seen a huge sort of redevelopment in the past few years. The big thing I would say for people looking at this is the King Street pilot is kind of changing things in the area, making it more pedestrian friendly, and allowing people easier access to downtown as well, because that was one of the bigger knocks on that area. So people are getting downtown quicker. I mean, you obviously have tons of retail in that area already. Really super cool neighborhood that's being opened up with this redevelopment. So really excited about this project coming in. It's coming in just east of Zen Condos.
Yeah, Zen Condos came in and again was a very cool kind of building in that area.
Another master plan community. 5 towers.
5 towers at Garrison Point with a park. There's going to be bridge connections, and so it's really going to connect everything. It's a great little project.
So if you're looking to sort of just, maybe if you're an end user or investor looking just outside of the core, but that still connects you to the core, this is one to keep an eye on for sure.
Definitely. Next up, and the last one we're going to talk about today is Uovo Condominium.
Uovo. I believe it was an Italian word?
Sure.
I've been told. So this one is it's another boutique building. It's only 11 stories, 67 suites. It's in my neck of the woods, actually, Davisville/Chaplin Estates. For those that aren't too familiar with that specific location, it's just south of Yonge and Eglinton. And that in itself is very important because you will have, once it's built out, you'll have quick access to the LRT as well as the Yonge subway line, because you're literally 2 minutes walk from both. You will be 2 minutes walk from both. Ultra boutique. It's by the Sher Group as well, so they're familiar with this kind of building. They've done stuff in the past with Ivy and now with the new one. It's definitely one to look out for. It suits the neighborhood. The thing I really, really like about this building is the design. The design is incredible. The design is super, super cool, and I think it's going to elevate that neighborhood a lot more. So definitely one to watch out for.
Awesome. So that wraps it up for this week. We'll be joining you again next week for all the latest new launches and coming soons.